And welcome back to another Who Would Win. This one comes to us from Nate M. Jones, who has the question, who won a fight, Kakashi or Cable? I don't see the connection, but here we are. Look, if you're a Naruto fan, you know Kakashi already. I've had Kakashi on here several times, but he is the Jonin Sensei of Teen 7 within the Naruto series, the main series. He trained under the 4th Hokage, Naruto's father. He is the son of the, White something of Konoha. I can't remember his dad's, White Fang. That was it. It was the White Fang of Konoha, who was actually said to be stronger than all the Sannin together. Think about that for a second. He's a prodigy in his own right. He is well known, famous as Sharingan Kakashi, although he doesn't have it anymore. We'll use Kakashi at the end of the war because that's probably his peak, arguably. Although without the Sharingan, he did now have access to a much larger reserve of chakra because not being a natural Uchiha meant it ate up a lot of his chakra reserves. So, Kakashi, having the Sharingan, has copied God knows how many jutsu, can follow movements and predict them with shocking, actually, almost like he's seeing the future. He has speed comparable enough to make it to keep up with some of the quickest the quickest individuals in the series, at least when it comes to jutsu, hand sign weaving. He is a skilled taijutsu user, famous for the lightning blade. His Mangekyo Sharingan has the Kamui, which is basically opens a giant black hole to another dimension. It can literally take limbs, transport you different spots. At least Kakashi's version does. And yeah, he's just an overall powerful, very powerful individual. He's probably, would he now qualify as the top 10 strongest? At the end of Naruto Shippuden, yeah, he still would have been in the top 10 strongest, I think, in the verse. Maybe. Well, no, he's not he only became Hokage kind of on stipulation. I'd actually argue maybe among the weakest of the Hokages. Just because of everything else we see from all the other Kages. But in terms of, living through the series, he's in the top 10. At least in the conversation. So, Cable's backstory, for those who are not aware, and look, I have not done Cable very often on this channel. Cable, Marvel, I forgot the A. Cable. Cable's backstory pretty much is that his name is Nathan Christopher Charles Summers, or Nathan Summers for short. And he essentially, I don't believe he's the son. Is he the son? The son of the first X-Men? Yep. Okay, that was it. X-Men Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. He maternally inherited powers manifested at a young age. In essence, Cable's mutation, he basically had to live through a apocalyptic timeline, literally, a timeline with apocalypse. And unfortunately, he got infected with a techno-organic virus, which basically, as it kind of sounds, turns your flesh into inorganics, into techno-organics. Now, that said, however, that's not his mutation. He's an alpha-level mutant. He was considered actually Omega-level mutant by the Red Skull, though it's not included in the Kroken list of known Omega-level mutants. A vastly powerful telepath. He once claimed this before his powers burned out. He was the world's most powerful telepath. That being said, he's still an alpha-level telepath and an Omega-level telekinetic. So his main powers are telepathy and telekinesis. Those are his main powers. And they are on an extremely powerful level. And he can access them at any time. The problem is he's using a large amount of that power normally to keep the technovirus at bay from basically eating away at his body. But he can still use many of his abilities, including psychometry. Cable's younger counterpart was able to glean psychometrics readings off of the objects with tactical content. Oh, that's like what he does in the movie. He was actually scanning things. He can cast illusions to a certain degree, telepathic cloak, basically hiding his presence. He can link minds, camouflage himself, generally like casting an illusion kind of. Mind control to certain degrees, trapping people within their own minds. Amnesia, mind alteration, psionic shields, which you can use basically for blocking. Psionic blasts, which had no physical effect, but an effect of a person's mind, and so cause them excruciating pain or even kill them. Astral projection, mental detection. His telekinesis enables him to manipulate matter with the thought energy and of his thoughts. He's capable of very fine control over objects, including himself. On larger levels, he can levitate great weights, but his upper limits remain undisclosed. At his peak, he can displace hundreds of tons of matter, as he did when lifting the repositioning of the sunken space station Graymican. Techno-activity manipulation, thanks to the techno-organic virus, he is able to manipulate technology on a certain level. Wouldn't matter in this fight, but he can do it. Intuitive aptitude, he can learn many things very quickly. That's what aptitude is. Matter transmutation, able to basically alter the molecular structure and subatomic structure of objects, both in his techno-organic components, which is why he's able to turn his arm into different things, and the very chemical balances in objects, changing food into poison, turning iron into pure gold, moving oxygen molecules to cause asphyxiation, transforming a man into a hideous man-bat, or even changing the dermal layer of another's hand into glowing algae. Disintegration, if he focuses hard enough, he can basically just disintegrate something. Psionic spikes, similar to the blast, it's just in a spike form. Size increase. He has telekinesis to alter his physical stature to that of a towering giant similar to Apocalypse. Didn't know he could do that. Regeneration and healing. Because thanks to his techno-organics, he can basically just kind of heal from most damage that's done to them, as well as having a mild regenerative factor in his own body. He can create a force field that is very impressive, capable of protecting him from a ground zero detonation of a 1 kiloton nuclear warhead, from both the heat, concussion, and radiation effects. He's able to display such control over the field as to shape them precisely, even to conform very closely to his own form and body. He's capable of concussive energy blast, tactile telekinesis. If I remember what that is correctly, he can use telekinesis to enhance his already impressive physical practice. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So tactile telekinesis is actually theorized what Superman actually does in many ways. In essence, it acts like super strength, but what you're actually doing is imparting your will onto something and moving it with your mind. You're moving it with your hand. You have to touch it to do so, and therefore it looks like you're moving things with your physical strength when you're not actually doing it. That's actually theorized what Superman actually does when it comes to... Not to say Superman's still not physically unbelievably powerful. It's just that's what's theorized he does when he's stopping like a plane from falling or something like that, because the boys illustrated how that doesn't work. He's also has his time traveling, been hinted to have the psionic power to displace himself and others at almost any specific point in the time stream, but he's got tools for that anyway. Apart from all that, he's also just a brick shithouse in terms of speed, endurance, and durability. He's jacked most of the time. Cybernetic eye, which allows him to see through psionic energies, as well as less exotic spectrums like the less exotic spectra, the electromagnetic energies. Cybernetic arm, energy, which also has his own thing. Cybernetic restoration, he can repair himself. And those are his current... He had former powers at one point, including a true regenerative healing factor, technopathy, and others, but he doesn't have those anymore. But he's a soldier, master hand-to-hand combatant, gifted in intelligence, teleportation. He has teleportation as well, capable of sliding or teleporting through areas. His two main weaknesses, though, are mind interconnection. The minds of Cable and Nate Gray are interconnected, causing them great pain when they are in close proximity to each other. And the techno-organic virus itself is a weakness. He must constantly sacrifice a portion of his telekinetic powers by being required to use them to restrain the TO virus from spreading. An excessive effort could release the virus and cause him to die slowly, turned into a cyborg. So, and then there's also a Light of Galor. While on Arak Ma, he found the Light of Galar embedded in the foot of a Crowan monster. It previously belonged to Morn. Basically, and he has his Prismatar, which is, since earliest years, Cable has always made use of the psychic focusing lance. Oh, it's a lance. Okay, what's the Light of Galadar? And he also has knives, explosive grenades, high power. What's the Light of Galadar? Oh, it's a sword. Okay, it's a sword. What, does it do anything specific? Energy conductor. Cool. Data storage. Okay. That would actually work very well for Cable. So, yeah, here's the thing. Kakashi's got nothing. I mean, nothing he can do to Cable in this fight. Now, let me rephrase that real quick. I'll take that back briefly. He's got one thing that can ultimately do something to him. Because every other one of these attacks, Cable could put up an energy field that blocked a 1 kiloton nuke, point blank. Kakashi does not have an attack, Raikiri, Chidori, any of his elemental jutsu, Rasengan, whatever, that can get through a force field that can block a 1 kiloton nuke. He has nothing on that level of power. So that means he would have to rely on more covert strategy, using his Sharingan, maybe trying to put Genjutsu on Cable. The problem is that because of just how powerful of a psychic, a telepath, and telekinetic he is, like just how powerful his mental abilities are, while individuals like Jean Grey, who is also insanely powerful, can be can be affected by illusions, they have to be like seriously powerful illusions. And when you factor in, let's see here, hold on. Let me get back to all the psychic bullshit he can do. Whoop, there we go. Apparently he's, what was it? His telepathy has made to evolve by some, using a Deathlock degree. Apparently, yeah, that's right. He has a bit of precognition now. Yep, he can, the ability to foresee events before they even happen, which would just screw Kakashi over, because he has legitimate precognition, not the pseudo that Sharingan allows. Telepathic cloak. He can mask his presence from being detected by others. Telepathic camouflage. Mind trap. Ability to take another person's mind from their body and effectively trap it within his own mind. Mind possession. Mind alteration. Amnesia. Psionic shields. Ability to erect psionic shields for protection of himself and others' minds. Yeah. So basically, illusions are going to work on him. Genjutsu's not going to work. If Cable wants to at any point, he can literally just mind rape Kakashi. Now, granted, Psionic Blast, I don't think would do as much to Kakashi as you might think, because he survived Tsukuyomi. And if you can survive Tsukuyomi, which is nuts in terms of how dangerous and powerful that is, you can actually survive pretty much anything mentally. So actually, mental attacks, at least in that vein, aren't going to do much to Kakashi, but literally just taking someone's mind and taking it out of their body, he has no protection from that. The only thing Kakashi has, the only thing he has, is Kamui. That is something that, even with an energy shield, Cable does not have a proper counter for. But even then, he has the ability to teleport out of the way by sliding, as they put it. Where was that teleportation? Where'd it go? They said teleporting. Tactile teleportation. Yeah, well, uninhibited by the TO infection, it shows the ability to warp himself place to place even without his body sliding technology. Okay, but that's uninhibited by the techno-organic virus. He can still kind of do it, but he's got tech that allows him to do that. Either way, Cable literally, that's the only thing Kakashi has in this fight. This probably should have actually gone in the speed round, to be honest. It's the only thing Kakashi has in this fight, because otherwise Cable, at any point, just puts up a shield, and Kakashi can't get through that damn thing. And then he just either mind attacks and mind F's Kakashi, or he just disintegrates his ass on the spot. And even if he doesn't get him because of substitution, he can sense where Kakashi is, read his mind, and just turn him into a kid. Or put his mind inside of his own head. There's just not... I love Kakashi. Kakashi is easily one of my favorite characters in Naruto, but... I can't rationally see him winning this fight. I really can't. Now, granted, this would probably be one of those scenarios where it'd be more like a scuffle, if they actually fight. And then Cable's basically, look, I'm not here to fight. It's like, oh, really? Then would you mind coming in for some questions? Either Cable says yes, or he's like, look, I got somewhere else to be right now. It's like, well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, they wouldn't realistically fight for very long. They probably would ultimately work on the same side after a while. Ultimately, though, yeah, I would go Cable. Unfortunately, I think Kakashi kind of gets clapped in this fight. But look, that's just my opinion. Maybe you feel differently. And if you do, that's cool. We're all friends here. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks later.